Hi, all chess goodies, and welcome to day 10 of my journey to top 100 rapid players in the world. And since it's day 10, I think it's a good time to make a prediction when I will achieve that. I think that I'll be able to get that top 100 in the year 2024. And to be exact, I will predict that it's going to be on day 273. Yeah, that's my prediction. And yeah, let's see if it will become true, if it will be earlier or later. But for now, let's actually play some games. So yeah, let's wait for the pairing. I always say that it takes a while at this level, so yeah, I cannot do much other than just wait. But it also should not be like impossible to get a pairing here. It might just take a while. And there it is. We have a pairing, so we have a game. Let's see what the opening move of my opponent will be, and it's pawn to d4. So, okay, what can we play here? Maybe just knight f6. Alright, knight f3. So then like pawn to d5. And we see the London system. Okay, so c5, e3, knight f6. Well, not f6, c6, that's actually it. And we get this. So I actually made a video about how to play against the London system, and I'm mentioning this line, and now c4. Now we get this position. Yeah, this is still a line from my video that I made about a year ago. I'm not completely sure, but I think that's about it. But okay, this move is really interesting. It probably aims to get this, I would say. But maybe I can get a nice e5 move. I'm not sure about this because I don't know this move. But I think that e5 seems good. Maybe this is still a problem. I take this fork. And then... Alright, it might be a bit of a problem. It actually might be. So yeah, what do I play here actually? This is a pretty interesting move. I want to look it up after the game. What is the best way, best continuation. But for now, I have to come up with a plan on my own. So yeah, this is a clear threat. So how do we stop that? It's like this. Maybe it's still possible to play e5 because after this, there is rook a5, then this attacks. Alright, maybe I'm wondering if king d8 or king d7. I think king d8 might be better. Although, no, king d7. Now, both pieces are hanging. So I'm interested what my opponent will do about it. There's obviously this option of just capturing with a pawn while attacking the knight. But yeah, it's not an easy position for neither of us, I would say. But it's really interesting. This knight is sort of trapped here. The rook is doing pretty good job of keeping that knight in a shaky position on c7. So it is actually just trapped. So I guess if this, then I'll just go for knight h5. So yeah, this is played. It is with check. If this, then I'll lose the rook. So I guess I'm gonna take it. Now, alright, pawn takes. But the thing is that the knight is still just trapped. And I'm not really sure how is the knight getting out of there. And yeah, it does not. Apparently, but true is that my opponent will get a bunch of pawns for that. And I'm wondering whether I should go for this to give some material back, but I mean, I wouldn't give some material back. Yeah, this is just great. I think, although now, yeah, this simple capture. Now, I guess I should do something about the rook. If it will be rook c5 or rook a5, I think rook a5 is better. But my opponent got really a lot of pawns for that piece. So it's not going to be easy. Also, e6 might be coming really soon. So I think I want to develop this bishop first, but I cannot really do that. Alright, it's really annoying, but I'll play king e7 first. Then develop the light square bishop and hope to develop the king side later in the game, and that it will be fine to wait with that. So okay, my opponent has how many pawns? 4 pawns. 4 pawns for one dark square bishop. That's a pretty interesting imbalance. I'm not really sure who does that imbalance favor. Alright, so after king e3, yeah, bishop b3 was almost forced, you might say. Now I'm attacking the bishop. Because the bishop is actually pinned. But if my opponent goes up with the king or castles, then it would not be that big of a problem, but I could still take on b3 and start getting some of those pawns back. That would be great. If possible, to snatch back a couple of pawns. And I really need to figure out what to do about the king side, especially the dark square bishop. Because the rook is quite easy to choose a file for it. Because there's the open D file, nice A file, to put pressure, nice C file, you know. But the dark square bishop is a lot harder to find a place for it. Because there are a lot of pawns controlling all kinds of dark squares. Especially these 4 pawns as I'm highlighting, and I highlighted, so. But okay, we see this. King d2, so now I can capture there. My opponent will capture, and then I can take here. But maybe I cannot because of king c2. So, okay. In that case, I think I should do something about the king. especially about the bishop. Maybe just put it on g7, even though I don't like that. But it's probably fine. It might be the way to go. Also maybe h6. Also h6 could be fine. h6 comes with a tempo, sort of. So that's nice. I like bishop h6 more, just because it attacks more. Well, not more, but attacks that pawn. And I can drop back later. And now... And now I can play rook a8. And it will be honestly quite interesting to see. For example, after this. An endgame of 4 pawns against the bishop. Like, I have no idea how is that endgame. Would be really interesting to see. But I'm not sure whether I should want to see. Because I don't know whether that's good for me or not. Now, isn't g5 just good? No, it's not, because then my opponent can just take. I take, and then f4. So that's not a thing that I want to do. Thinking that now... Probably just want to drop the bishop back to f8. But it's still pretty difficult. Bunch of pawns there. Alright, h5 would be good for him, so I'll just stop with h5 myself. But still, really unclear how the position stands. So bishop e7, let's say, just to play something. Maybe the way to move for him is to play f3, but I'm not sure. Alright, I might want to move back with the rook, actually. I might want to do that. Because otherwise I cannot really move. That rook was under pressure from that king. So it was impossible to move my other a rook. But now I allowed a3, which might not be that great. So okay, b5. b5. And I'm holding all of these squares so far quite nicely. And yeah, this thing probably not recommended. Now I want to shift my attention over to c-file. That might be better. Although true is... Oh wow. Didn't expect this move. But I think I can just take. And then... What do I do? Still a really hard position to play. Huh. They want to take or not? Really hard decision. But let's play rook a c8. But I can very well see this one going wrong. Because I'm still down a lot of pawns. Now I gotta remaneuver the rook to d file where it might actually be able to move. Still pretty difficult. Okay, I gotta have to go for something like this finally. Now I have to take that and then like king f5, so I got that pawn. This bishop is holding f6, which is important. But it feels to be quite far away from the b pawn. I mean the king. Still 4 pawns down for that bishop. If I can win the b pawn, then it might be a different story, but it's still hard to see how exactly am I gonna win that pawn. Because there is a king and the rook to defend that pawn, while I can only attack it with the rook and the bishop currently, because the king is so far away. So maybe my chance is to try to go after the king side pawns as quickly as possible. But it's pretty tough. Definitely. Maybe like b5. Yeah, b5. Okay. So like rook d2 maybe. But it feels just too slow. It feels like I'm way too slow. How about just b6? I take b7 and I'm not catching the pawn suddenly. So okay, that means I have to go back here to d4. So I have this. Rook a4 now looks pretty nice for him, I have to say. It's not an easy move to find though, but he finds it. Maybe I can sneak behind like this. No, I cannot. But now let's go here. Still might be able to sneak behind the pawn. But this attacks the bishop, and that's a problem. Also maybe some rook f7 actions coming in. Alright, I gotta sneak behind. Now do this. I'm attacking 2 pawns now. But this is an option. Not sure where am I gonna go. Probably should stay under these pawns. Like so. Now I gotta have to take this pawn. I'll do it with the bishop. Now I'll just put pressure there, but g4 might come. Right, let's give check. Let's do this. But I'm not sure whether that's good or not, because now my king is quite lonely there. Can take with the bishop though, and take the f4 pawn maybe. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do exactly that. Okay. Pretty interesting now. Alright, I should probably claim the draw. Maybe possible to go for some sort of a like plate on the clock. Oh wow. I lost the bishop. Why? No, it was mouse slip. I wanted to go there. Oh wow. Okay. Win on time. It came down to the time scramble, but what a crazy game. I mean, almost never, or maybe I think it is really the first time I had a game like this where I would have a piece for 4 pawns. That was pretty insane. Yeah, apparently a draw here, definitely makes sense. Still a draw though. How about here? Still a draw, like really. But it was so complicated. But apparently somehow it is possible that it was a draw the whole time. But yeah, I was on the back foot. But I said that I want to go back if they'll allow me to do that, because okay, here we go. I'm interested what to do against this. Okay, you know what the top engine move is? At least here. Yeah, it is changing a bit, but one of the top moves is to just give up the exchange. And apparently I should be just better after knight to e4. Which probably makes sense, but honestly, good luck finding this during a game. But yeah, if that ever happens again, I probably will go for this. But okay, so a crazy first game. It came down to time scramble. I won, and yeah, let's play at least one more. Yeah, and this time we get a pairing really quickly. I already played e4 in this series, d4, so let's maybe try c4 to switch it up. Again, c6, alright, I'll go back to the pan of attack. Alright. Yeah, after c4, c6, there's a possible transposition into like Slav defense. Or like you can play moves like knight c3, g3, d3, and play it in a style of English opening. But yeah, against if you play c4, then against c6 and e6, it's not so easy to keep yourself in the English waters of the opening. Because black is just inviting you to a transposition into some kind of a queen's gambit. So yeah, here we got an isolated d pawn, but yeah, it's quite a pawn structure, one of the main ones actually, to know that the side with an isolated d-pawn has more space, so should have activity, but of course to the end game the pawn is just weaker than the other pawns. So okay, I'll play bishop to d3 here, since you want to wait if your opponent goes for e6 or g6, and depending on that you will place your light squared bishop. If it's e6, then the light squared bishop will be better on this diagonal. If it is g6, then the bishop will be better on that diagonal. And sometimes your opponent will go for both. In that case, it doesn't really matter, but in that case the dark squared bishop around the king would be weak. So yeah, that's sort of it. So the tension between the knights. So my biggest issue is where to put the dark squared bishop, because it's not so easy to develop it, you see. Now I can transpose into some sort of a symmetrical structure, which I honestly might do, because I have a lead in development. And yeah, I just love about the position, even though it is true that it was a bit lame for me, because now the pawn structure is definitely more drawish than the previous one. But yeah, as I said, I should be slightly better here, so why not? Why not to grind slightly better position? Now I want to develop the dark squared bishop as well, and I think f4 is the best square for it. If this, then I guess bishop back to b1 and a3, and that should be fine. Maybe I want some checkmating ideas along this diagonal. Not that I would deliver checkmate there, but it would most likely force black to weaken the pawn structure around the king if I would build up the checkmate threat along that diagonal. But yeah, probably the plans will be the same for both sides. I wanted to say like rook c8, rook c1, but okay, we see more aggressive bishop to g4 that pins the knight. And I kinda would like to do this, but that doesn't work. No, it does not, so okay. So what else? h3, this, if I take with the queen, then I'm losing a pawn. So okay, I can also just go back to e2, it's really lame. It is, I have to say. But with that, I cannot lose anything. But true is that if I wanted to go for this move, I probably should have gone for it right away without even thinking, because I lost some time for basically no reason. But okay, my opponent is being annoying. With this. So, okay. We got this tension here. Is a3 possible? Then this should be possible, but let's count again. This, maybe even Bata taking with the pawn. this, this, and that should be fine. And this. Yeah, it's gotta work. It's gotta work. If it doesn't, then it's quite weird. Oh. It does work, but it's dropping a pawn. Wow. Is it really that bad? Yes, it is. It just drops pawn. It's not the end of the world because I got some activity for that. That definitely isn't something I was looking for. Alright, it required better calculation, more precise. But as I said, it's not the end of the world, it's not the end of the game. We can still capture on b7, maybe like put the rook behind. Like put the rook on the file. Maybe like, do I wanna play? No, I don't, because then there might be nasty ideas. Okay, knight drops back. I'll play rook d7 definitely, but now rook f d7 makes sense. It does. So do I want to take or keep my active rook? I think I definitely want to keep my active rook. Is the opponent just gonna keep chasing me? If you want to draw, then okay. You have a draw. I mean, I was the one down a pawn. But yeah, I mean, it's just butter for black apparently. So yeah, I win and I draw. Let's see how well the last game go. In which direction? Right, we get a rematch against Bascopelea. Not sure how I should pronounce that, but okay. d4 again. So what should I go for now? Maybe just stick with the Slav defense for now. Yeah, okay, let's stick with that. Oh, this is an annoying line. It is. Okay, bishop d3, so I'm gonna trade. Now, like, what? I can take on c4, but I won't do that. But I definitely think that it is a possibility because you are misplacing your opponent's queen, which can be great. But like this, I'm just solid. So it should be fine. Okay, is bishop d6 fine? I guess e4 is gonna come shortly. That, e4. I think fine. I'll just take the pawn. Yeah, there we go. Gonna take it with the knight. Am I? It should be the same, but okay. Let's take that with the knight. Now just castle. Yeah, just castle. I think it's better than knight f6 right away. Because now I can see if maybe something comes to g5. I can still decide whether I want to play f6 against this. Or if knight lands on g5, I can play knight f6, attack the queen while defending the h7 pawn. So that would be great. So we get this interesting pawn structure where I'm the one with the more solid pawn structure, but my opponent should have the initiative. So yeah, let's see. My strategy here should be to just trade pieces because this pawn is weak. D5 is not so easy to execute. And yeah, it might be an easy target when it comes to some sort of an rook and piece endgame, for example. But far from that for now. Okay, as I said, something comes to g5 and it is a bishop, so I can go for f6, although not really because of this, so that would be really bad. But I can go back with the bishop. Although after this trade, d5 is possible because there's a pin on the queen. It still should be just an equal position, although it was not possible because of knight f6. Maybe you can understand what I mean. Also maybe not, but okay. h6, is there anything wrong with that move? I don't think so. Just watch out for some sacrifices potential, but I don't see them working for now. Alright, so my opponent trades this time. Now let's see if d5 would be good because I can take, and then knight f6. That's what I was talking about. That attacks the queen. Well, also attacks the pawn, so I would just win that d5 pawn. So it seems like it works due to this pin, but indeed it doesn't because of knight to f6. Knight to f6 will come very shortly anyway, and then I'll just probably like even double up on the d file, put more pressure. So knight f6, pretty natural, attacking the queen. Knight will come to e5 though, so it will be better placed than my knight on f6, but I still should be really solid. And yeah, there shouldn't be any big attack coming up. So I will do my plan of getting as much pieces to the d file to put pressure on that d4 pawn. So yeah, queen comes here. Is that really an issue? I don't think so. So I'll just get the rook to d file as I said. Also, like, queen b4 is a really interesting thing. I think it just works. Queen b4, double attack, although yeah, b3, obviously. But still, I don't think that it was a bad move at all. I'll play a5 now. Queen c7 though, possible now. Although it's not that great because of rook d7. I think with this knight on f6, I should be holding. There doesn't seem to be any big attack, and I might be able to just do my stuff on the queen side. So g3, not really sure what the idea behind that is. So I'll just execute my plan. a4. Undermining the pawn structure on the queen side. Okay, this is possible. Now that rook is vulnerable. Let's keep that in mind. I should be able to capture anyway. Yeah, capturing with the pawn was forced because of the c4 pawn. So I would like to take that knight somehow to take the rook, but it's not really possible. e5. Does that do anything? No, it does not. That way too many pieces. But b5. How would that look? How is b5? b5 looks pretty strong to me. Although it is really true that it weakens the c6 pawn. So I have to watch out for that now. The knight is still tied down to the rook, so yeah. But that can be solved pretty easily. Now knight d5 is possible to attack the queen, and now this pawn is even weaker. But still not sure where exactly should I break to. Because it's just not easy, there is no clear path, clear way. Maybe just that I have d5 completely under control. I could want to shift the attention over to the a file. Yeah, that seems to be the way to go. Queen comes here, but is that a big problem? I don't think it is. But knight e5 is coming with an attack on the c6 pawn. So that might stop me from my plans on the queen side for a while. With, like, let's say rook a6, that should be fine. No, it's not the ideal way how I would like to defend that pawn. Maybe the queen is not the best placed there on the b4. Not really sure. Knight c3 doesn't work. At least it doesn't seem to work. Maybe I should just maneuver my queen back to c7, from where it will defend both of the most vulnerable pawns. Then I can double up on the a file and throw my rooks into the attack. For now, I will just drop the knight back. Hope. Oh wow, there are. Obviously there are sacrifices like this. f5. Is f5 possible? I think it's somewhat possible. This. Oh wow, maybe I screwed. I just thought that it was impossible to take, but obviously that it is. I can most likely just drop the queen back and be fine, be okay. Yeah, it appears to be fine. After queen d8, I'll just have to give the exchange back, and I have worse pawn structure than I had before, but yeah, as I said, it should be fine. Maybe possible to go for a line with f5 and try to keep the exchange somehow, but it felt really risky to do so. So okay, king h7 should be fine. This f5 then. And I'm just winning. So now my opponent should take there, but no. Alright, after f5 I'm not winning because knight f8 comes with check. But am I still gonna do that or not? Probably not, right? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna play f5. Are we getting another draw? It seems that way. Do I wanna keep playing on? I'm quite low on time. Alright, let's claim the draw. So okay, 1 win and 2 draws for today. And yeah, as I said, my prediction is day 273 will be the day when I will reach the 100. So yeah, that's it.